The search is over. You have officially found the best all-around build in NBA 2K21. This build right here can play make, it can dunk, it can shoot, and it can play defense. This is one of the best all-around builds that I have personally found in NBA 2K21. When I was designing this build, I asked myself, what is the closest build to Giannis? I was in the lab locked for hours trying to find this build, and after around 3 to 4 hours of searching, picking through builds, this is the build I came up with. This build gets every contact dunk almost in the game. It can green almost every single three. You will be able to speed boost when you're in takeover. And then on top of that, you can clamp up even Giannis. I was out here dominating in this demo, going crazy. I cannot wait to try this build out in the full game.
I just like the sound.
Yo, YouTube! It's your boy Premier, back today with another banger, and in today's video we are going to be going over a slashing 4 build video. This is one of the best all-around builds in the game. This is a Giannis type build. This build can dunk, it can shoot, it can play make, it can do it all. It's one of the best all-around builds in the game. Before we get into this build, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that. Make sure to turn on post notifications if you're new so you don't miss an upload. We will be on the daily upload grind all of 2K21 almost. Next, let's go ahead and get straight into the build. First things first, for the position, you need to select the power forward position. You can look at the shooting guard, you can look at the small forward, but I have sat here and compared 4 hours. The power forward version of this build is the best. Next, for the jersey number, make sure you choose number 1, because this is the one. This is the build you need to choose. It's the best build that I personally found in the game, and it's probably going to be the build that I end up using to start the year off. Next, for the skill breakdown, go ahead and scroll all the way down. You can look at the red and yellow. The red and yellow is not a bad pie chart, not to mention the pure yellow, but the pie chart you need to select for this skill breakdown is the one with the blue and the yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. It's the finishing and playmaking skill breakdown. Make sure you choose this skill breakdown. With this skill breakdown, you're going to be able to get contact dunks. You're going to be able to green all of your threes. We will work on that 3 ball. You're going to be able to speed boost and take over. Then you'll be able to play clamps. So make sure you select the blue and yellow. Next, onto the physical. I have sat here and compared in depth between the speed and between the balance, between the agility and vertical. I've compared a few different physical profiles. I've tested this build a lot before I dropped this build video. But the one that you need to select is the one with the most speed, the most acceleration. You want the fastest player possible on the court. That way you can blow by your man, finish at the rim just like Giannis would. So make sure you choose the top physical profile. Next, onto these attributes. First things first, go ahead and max out your driving layup, max out your driving dunk, and max out your standing dunk. Next, you need to drop your driving layup down by 1 point so that way you only have 14 and have the maximum attribute upgrades. Next, max out almost all of your shooting, but then gut your post fade, drop it all the way down to 8 shooting badges, or if I'm not mistaken, I think I ended up doing 9. Yeah, drop your post fade all the way to a 57. Then after that, I want you to go ahead and max out your post moves, ball handling, and upgrade your pass accuracy to a 52, so that way you get the maximum playmaking badges as well. Then on the defense, max out block, offensive and defensive rebound, then max out your interior defense first, and then put your remaining stats into your lateral quickness. That way you get 10 defense and rebounding badges. And then after you finish up with all your attributes, you're going to end up with 53 badge upgrades. This build can get even more badges, but the way I personally decided to build it, it's better because you're going to unlock more contact dunks, and then on top of that, you could gut some of the defense to up into the playmaking and give you more badges. I have looked at a few different varieties of this build, but this is the best all-around build. This build right here can do almost anything on the court. I know there is higher badge count versions of this build, but this is, like I said, the best all-around version of this build, the closest build possible to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Once I am finished on this build, you will end up with contact dunks. You will end up with that 85 driving dunk. Not to mention, we're gonna work on the 3 ball, like I said, And then on top of that, with your playmaking, you will be able to speed boost when you're in takeover on this build. And then the defensive stats are very solid. The 10 defensive badges, you can definitely make it work. This build right here will literally dominate the 2's core. You'll be able to kill the matchup. But look here, for the body shape, you can debate between burly, you can debate between built, and you can debate between defined. Those are the 3 best body shapes in my opinion for this build. But the body shape that I personally recommend is built. The reason being, if you sit here and look at burly, his shoulders are kind of like taller. Built, in my opinion, he has a little broader shoulders. His arms drop down a tad lower, and I don't know, that could be a few extra inches on the wingspan, or I could be tripping. I don't know. I'm just sitting here debating, and I think built looks better. You have the same body size, so you'll be able to set really good screens, make really good contact with the defender. But let's go ahead and move on to the height. You can go ahead and look at 6'10", 6'11" here, but look at these stats. They're cruised. Your player is going to be a turtle. Yes, I know in real life Giannis is 6'10", 6'11", but if you actually make your build that tall, you will play nothing like Giannis. So in order for your build to play and move like Giannis on the court, you need to either look at 6'9" or 6'8". 6'9" is a very valid height. I've talked to a lot of the competitive centers in this game, the players who win tourneys, and the good players in this game are going with 6'9" and 6'8". 6'10" and 6'11" this year are cruised. They are way too slow. You're gonna be a turtle in the court. You can make that height if you want to quote unquote be Giannis, but in order to play like Giannis, I'm telling you, you need to select 6'8" or 6'9". 6'8" immediately gives you the pro tier dribbling moves off rip. If you select 6'9" and 99 overall, when you get your +4 attribute bonus, you're going to be able to get the pro tier as well. So 6'9" is valid, but I recommend 6'8" for this build. Next, onto the weight. I need you to drop down your weight until you get the +1 driving dunk, and then you get the speed and you get the acceleration that you want for this build. Me, I'm going to sit here and compare. If I'm not mistaken, I ended up doing exactly until I got my 84 speed. And then honestly, I think there was a certain point I was just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and select the all speed, all acceleration. I think I dropped down my weight to 188 pounds here. That way I had my 84 speed, 82 acceleration. Once you go ahead and get your 99 overall attribute bonus, you're going to end up with an 88 speed, and then you'll end up with an 86 acceleration. Not to mention, if gym rat is still a thing, that's going to be a 90 speed and 88 acceleration. At 6'8", that is a demigod on the court. And then look here for the wingspan. Giannis has some of the longest arms in the game. You cannot do low arms here. You have to go ahead and max out your arms. That way you're going to start with a 72 ball control. Look at these offensive and defensive rebounding stats. Your rebounding stats are going to end up at an 80 defensive rebounding. That is solid for this build to not have any type of defense in it. Look at the standing dunk though. 94 starting standing dunk. That's going to be a 98 standing dunk and 99 overall. 89 driving dunk. You're going to end up with a 76 ball control. A lot of people throw this term out there, but this build will actually be a demi. Next, for the takeover, you can go ahead and look at post. You can look at rim takeover. Rim takeover is really solid. You can look at glass cleaner takeover. If I'm not mistaken, that is Giannis's actual takeover in the game. But in order to play like Giannis, in order to finish around the rim like Giannis, you need to select the slasher takeover. In my opinion, you're going to get exclusive dunks. You're going to be able to jump over people if this game is anything like 2K20. Could you imagine just isoing the other center on the 2's court, and you just drive by sitting in the paint and you just dunk over him, bro? Slasher takeover is OP. Slasher takeover is what I recommend. And as you can see, you have built a slashing 4 similar to Zion Williamson, John Collins, and Blake Griffin. This build right here is a demi. Let me know what you think of it down below. Let me know if you think it's a dub. Let me know if you think it's an L, and let me know what video you would like to see next. But that's all for today's video. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe if you're new, make sure to turn those post notifications on. It's your boy Premier, and I'm out. Peace.
It's getting hard to keep composure, they keep trying me. I came from nothing, now they bumping my songs overseas. I remember when I first started, they